Hey everybody, I just wanted to welcome you to Soul to Series, a 5-step mini course to help you start your cohesive body of work. This is something I created in order to help me recover my ability to work in a series. I went through, I guess, like an artistic midlife crisis where I just really lost connection with my why for making art. And I felt like a lot of it was this inability to kind of do that repetition with variation uh, technique for creating a series and working in a series. And trying to understand that, I developed this course to help me articulate my own experience and to see how other artists work through series. So I just want to quickly, before I go off on all these tangents, just kind of talk about what the course goes over and what you can expect. So it's broken up into 5 steps, and it can be very easy to spend a lot of time on them. And if you're enjoying spending a lot of time on them, then by all means. But if it feels really overwhelming, set a timer and only work on it for, the time, like different activities. I have recommended amounts of time. And you can do it a little chunk at a time each day, or you can just block out some time and get it done in an hour or two. But I think, if you tend to overthink things, then just go through it. I think this works best when you have some idea of what you might want to do your series on, and you're just kind of needing to flesh it out. You should, know the materials that you want to work in, or know the subject you want to focus on, or know something that you want to explore. I think if you don't have something to kind of center things on, then this is probably going to be pretty overwhelming. So you might want to, just think about, well, I know I want to work in this material, or I know I want to explore the color red, or, just pick something that you want to do to kind of anchor this. So this is not a creative activity. This is much more analytical. It's looking for identifying what you want to do and what you don't know, and helping you to fill in those missing pieces. So there's a lot of diagrams and charts. And please just have an open mind. Your creativity is going to come in your art. Maybe in the future, I will try to make this a little bit more creative, but really this is a way of analyzing your own creative process. So each day there is something to read or something to listen to, if you prefer to listen, and then there is an activity to do. And so some of the topics that I go through are about, like, what even is a series, and is it a series that you want to make, or is it a collection? Which for me was like very clarifying when I realized that I was thinking like I was making a collection, but working like I was making a series, and I saw that those were incongruent. It really showed me what I needed to rethink in my own art practice. So the first day we're talking about the difference between a series and a collection. And then you're going to be doing a brain dump to just figure out what you know so far. And I really would limit how much time you spend on it. Like, there's like 3 sections minimum that you're going to be working on, and you might be leaving a lot of it blank. So it's kind of like, oh, like, I'm confused about this I know I want to do. Just what you know now. So if you don't know, you don't know. And that's what the rest of the course is for. So just kind of, mapping the land of where you are. So that's the first day. The second day, we're going to be focusing on the materials that you're going to use and what size you think you want to work on. And I wanted to start with this because I think actually this is probably the easiest area where you can create some really easy cohesiveness in your series by having everything the same size. So if you're like easily overwhelmed, like, there's this kind of some defaults that I suggest that you are definitely not obligated to do, but just how to simplify the materials that you're working with. And then I'm going to talk about a key thing that you do when you're creating a series or a collection, which is repetition with variation. So kind of talking about that. And then day 3 is about skills and design and like your mastery, the things that you are fluent in. And kind of tying some things together. So there's like, are you making a series or a collection? What skills and what part of what you have mastered are you going to focus on? And how does that work with different approaches to planning? I go into more detail, but basically, if you're creating a collection, you're going to be focused on showcasing your mastery. And whereas if you are creating a series, it's going to be much more process oriented. So if you want to be process oriented and you spend a whole bunch of time planning out everything, then you're kind of killing you're kind of using up a lot of your creative energy before you've even started the series. Like the series is where you want to be exploring that. Whereas in a collection, you are showcasing your mastery, so you don't want to wing it. You want to know exactly what you're going to do, so that all that creativity is going to come much earlier in your process. So that I think was critical for me to understand about my own process and why I was blocking myself. Day 4 is picking your subject, and for this, you're going to think about your purpose and values in art. And you need to be selfish with this and very individual. Like, what is your purpose for making art? What do you think is important things that art accomplishes? And that might help you narrow down your subject and kind of align everything. It's sort of like seeing an art chiropractor. And then we talk a little bit about how to avoid boredom with your series, and also just like if you're not feeling sure how to just kind of decide on things, or to think about not being sure in a way that doesn't lead you to kind of get into that circular pattern of thinking. And then the last day is just to kind of fill in the missing pieces and kind of go back over everything and see if you answered questions at the end that you didn't understand at the beginning. And then you will have completed the course. So I hope that you find value in this. I've been getting good feedback. It was great for me, but I really tried to make it work for a lot of different types of processes and ways of making art. And working in a series is incredibly, it's a really good way to be productive and to, kind of answer a lot of questions for yourself about, your style and your visual voice. And I hope that as you work through the course, leave things blank, skip around, take your time, set timers, and try to avoid overwhelm by not overthinking too much. Just go with the first answer and go with that. And you don't have to create this perfect plan. It's to get you started on something with more clarity. And I am confident it will help you with that. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I would love to hear about your plan. So you're always welcome to email me and show me anything that you have figured out, and that would be wonderful. Have fun.